To get started on our craft today, you're going to need some paper. I have used green and blue for the earth. I have some white, some black, and some red, but you can use whatever colors you would like. I have some scissors so that we can do some cutting, glue so we can paste it all together, a pencil to help us do some tracing, and a circular lid for the earth so I can trace it so it's nice and round. In order to get started, I'm going to move everything out of the way so I have a nice clear space. I'm going to take my green and blue page and I am going to layer them on top of one another so that I only have to trace and cut once. I'm going to take my round circular tracer, take my pencil and go right around, holding down your tracer so it doesn't move. And there we go. We have a circle. That's going to represent our earth. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut. Now, as I am cutting, you will notice I still have both of the pages together. They're not glued, they're just held together, so they're going to end up being the exact same size when I am done cutting. You're going to carefully cut on the line, and then you're going to use your green page, and you're just going to draw some squiggly lines. This is going to help represent the part of the earth that is not water. So there is no right or wrong. You just be creative. You don't want straight lines. You want some nice squiggly lines, some rounded lines, and then cut away. Once you're done cutting, you are going to take the outer parts of your earth and glue them right on top of the water. So it represents what might look like the earth from an aerial view. Once you have your earth all glued together, you are going to make some eyes for your earth. All I did was take the lid of my glue and I'm going to trace around it to make my eye. I also will do the same thing I did with the blue and the green paper, and I'm going to layer them, but I'm layering them with the exact same color this time. So here we go. I'm just going to fold my white piece of paper. There it is, so that it's 2 instead of 1 when I'm all done. I'm just going to trim it a little bit so it makes it easier to cut. And then I am going to cut out my second circular tracer. See, still layered. Make sure you're cutting nicely on those lines, the very best you can. And I'm going to do the same thing with the black. Now I just want to look at to see what size my pupil is going to be. I want it a little bit smaller than my white circle for my eye. And once again, I'm folding. That way I have a layer, and when I cut out my little pupil, I will have 2 that they're the exact same size, and I've only had to trace once and cut once. Here we go. I'm just making it a little bit easier for myself by trimming it. And here we go, cutting on those lines so that I have my little pupil. Then I'm going to glue my eyes together on my earth. And here we go, ready for the creativity of some arms and some legs. It does not really matter what length you make them, but you want to make sure that you are creating nice long rectangles. Here I just cut once right along my page, and now I'm just going to trace so that all my arms, so I guess both my arms and both my legs are the same size. Mine are fairly long. You can make yours shorter or longer. It's completely up to you. You'll see I've made 3 lines so that I can cut 3 more times, and that gives me 4, 2 arms and 2 legs. Now at this point you could leave the arms and legs like that, but I'm actually going to give mine a little bit of a 3D effect by accordioning them. So I'm going to take the first tip and I'm going to fold towards me, and then I'm going to fold away from me. I'm going towards and away, towards, and I'm going to fold away. I'm going to fold towards and away, and when I'm done, ta-da-da, I have this cute little accordion, and all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the tip, and I'm going to glue underneath the earth so that you can't see it. It just looks like it's naturally appearing. There you go. Perfectly done, and it springs out. Now I'm going to do that for both my legs and my other arm. Like I said, you can do whatever you would like. They can be straight or not. And here comes the red. Now the red I am using for a couple things. The first thing I'm going to do is fold my piece of paper so that I got that layer again. Remember our little layering, but this time I'm actually just going to draw half of a heart, but it's going to be really long. So I'm going to kind of go way up and come all the way down. So it's half a really kind of skinny, long looking heart, and that's going to be my mouth. You do not have to do it this way. You can do it any way you want, but that's how I've decided to do it. And I am also going to do a similar thing for my feet and my hands. I'm just going to trim the edge off. This makes it easier to cut. And I'm going to trim off the part that I'm no longer using. Now, you will see that I still have my page folded. I'm going to keep it folded, but then I'm going to fold it in half again. And I'm going to go one more time in half again. And then I'm going to flip it over, and you just want to make sure you are drawing right on the fold, right where everything is folded together. This is where you want to draw a half a heart. So there we go. I'm going to draw a half a heart, and then I'm going to cut on that. And you will notice when we cut, surprise, surprise, we're only once again cutting once, but ta-da, we have 4 hearts. And now you can use your hearts for the hands and the feet. You will notice I've used hearts for the hands, the feet, and the mouth to remind us to treat the earth with love. Thanks for joining me at Craft Club for Kids. I hope you were able to be creative and have fun.